We can get the show.
Everybody knows I wasn't shit. Everybody knows that. He's not saying nothing new. Like, you're not saying nothing new about me. Like, my career was a bust. I wasn't shit. I had expectations. I did not exceed those expectations.
So now Rashad McCants and Jennings wasted no time firing right back at Patrick Beverley after he decided to put their names in the spotlight. And listen, I'm not even gonna front. Pat Bev definitely got under their skin with those comments. Now hold up, this whole podcast war might be entertaining for the internet, but girl, this drama has been dragging on for way longer than it needed to. We've been watching the same recycled tension and slick shots for years now, and eventually people stop seeing it as fresh beef and start seeing it as the same episode on repeat. Honestly, somebody needs to either sit down and hash this out or completely dead the situation, because all this endless talking is only fueling another round of talking. But anyway, make sure y'all hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any updates, because you already know this situation keeps getting messier. Alright, now let's get into everything they had to say.
You know, I think the kissing the ground part was a little funny because I know how I got on this couch because of Tim. Tim called me, and I know who write my checks, which is Underdog. And me and Rashad, since everybody, I mean, we've been putting in work since day one. I mean, shit, we've been #1 for a long time, dog, sitting on this couch, creating vibes, creating waves for everybody else. So, I mean, just like with you, you know, your show with Barstool, you know, that's their show. You know, I guess if we're going to be kissing grounds, I guess we all need to be getting on our knees kissing grounds because Barstool owns you. You don't own your show. So, I mean, we're in the same predicament at the end of the day. So, and at the end of the day, this is Underdog show. So that's just what that is. And as far as my career, man, I just feel like with the career thing, man, you know, congratulations on, you know, having a longer career than me. You know, you made more money, of course. But of course, I tore my Achilles, which shifted things for me. You know, I think what you made 80 million, I made 40. So, I mean, you know, if I don't tear my Achilles, you know, Stan Van Gundy, you heard what he said about me. They gave Reggie Jackson 80 million. Shout out Reggie Jackson, but they gave Reggie Jackson 80 million. So, I mean, just think about what the fuck they were gonna give me. Fuck. 90, 100. So, you know, with that situation, you're not a better basketball player than me, dog. Like you had to play a role to stick in the league. You can know you averaged 35, whatever, 37 in high school, went to the league. You can only stay in the league if you play defense. So you was in a bad marriage. But it got you to what you got to get to, you know, but that divorce was ugly. But man, you know, keep going, bro. You know, we are who we are. We do what we do. We gonna be #1. We gonna stay #1. And that's just all to it.
Oh nah, listen to this. Jennings really came through sounding way different than people expected. I honestly did not think that was going to be the energy he responded with at all. The entire time he was breaking down his side, he low-key sounded nervous and unsure of himself. Most people were expecting Brandon to completely crash out and turn this into a full-blown rant, but instead, he kind of stayed composed and took the mature route. Matter of fact, hold up. I can't even keep calling him Mr. B after that because he was moving way calmer than his usual image. Because whether you agree with him or not, he definitely tried to keep the response measured instead of emotional. And I'm not gonna lie, some of his points really didn't connect the way he probably thought they would. At certain moments, it almost sounded like he was trying to convince himself while he was talking in real time. He even slid in a little joke about Barstool Sports and their fallout with Patrick Beverley, but girl, the joke landed more awkward than funny. Then you could tell he had to pull himself back a little because realistically, none of them fully control that Gil's Arena platform situation either. At the very least, Pat Bev is out here trying to create his own brand and carve out an independent lane for himself. And to be fair to Brandon, he's always had talent around him too, and he's definitely had moments where he looked like a star. But what I still don't understand is why these conversations always drift away from actual basketball so fast. Like seriously, why does every hoop discussion suddenly turn into personal side stories and podcast drama instead of breaking down the game? Now, Pat Bev had clearly been focused on building his own media presence ever since that Barstool exit, and you already know that transition came with controversy attached to it. But when it comes to pure basketball talent, comparing peak Pat Bev to peak Brandon Jennings is a completely different debate altogether. Brandon was really one of them before injuries changed the trajectory of everything. Still, I can't lie, I expected way more fire and intensity from him during this response. And honestly, it kind of proved something too. Once he stepped away from that old aggressive mentality, that same sharp edge just doesn't hit the way it used to.
I'll shift over to Dr. McCants. Anything you would like to add to this?
We're doing takes and shit. This is what we doing.
But just want to get it out the way.
Man.
So we can get the show.
Everybody knows I wasn't shit. Everybody knows that. He's not saying nothing new. Like, you're not saying nothing new about me. Like, my career was a bust. I wasn't shit. I had expectations. I did not exceed those expectations. I'm starting a new career. I'm in year 4 of my new career. And I would say I'm pretty high on the totem pole in this new career of mine. I think that I'm very well polished to do the things that I'm doing now. You know, I have a body bag in a cemetery with a lot of bodies, body parts, figures, figurines in that. You are in one of the plots, bro. Like, it's not nothing new to me. People taking shots at the throne, it's gonna be what it's gonna be, right? I mean, I'm not gonna go career for career, stats for stats, and none of that. I'm sitting next to Skip Bayless right now. Where are you at? All right, cool. Stephen A came to debate, put him in the body bag too. If I'm kissing anybody's feet or any ground or any of that, amen.
But he kissing ground. He kissing ground.
I'm just saying, I did thank Gilbert for giving me an opportunity to revitalize, you know, what was a tough time. And I think every former player that he thinks he's shitting on at this point in his career, that he can look down upon and be like, hey, look, if you wasn't on this show, you wouldn't be shit. So it's a lot of guys that want to do things that we're doing right now, but guys like him feel like we don't have an opportunity because you got to have a career, a resume, and all this type of shit.
Now hold up. Did this man really just claim he packed up Stephen A. Smith like that? Like, come on, bro. Talking about I'm little Steve now is absolutely wild to say out loud. You cannot seriously expect people to hear that line and just nod along like it makes perfect sense. If you actually watched that episode when Stephen A. stepped into Gil's arena, then you already saw how fast the atmosphere changed in that studio. And listen to this. A lot of viewers started noticing Kenyon Martin and Rashad McCants acting a little different once that clip started making rounds online. But this comparison they're trying to force here, girl, it really doesn't carry the same weight they think it does. Then you got folks out here acting like sitting beside Skip Bayless automatically stamps your legacy in real time. Meanwhile, let's not rewrite history and pretend Gilbert Arenas didn't build that entire platform into a major sports space himself. Now somehow Patrick Beverley catching strays too, with people throwing around stories about him making somebody quit workouts and all kinds of extra narratives. But at the end of the day, there's still a huge difference between loud stories and an actual body of work. That's exactly where these debates start falling apart and getting messy. Because once you spend every day on podcasts and platforms critiquing athletes, you also invite that same criticism right back onto yourself. It's the classic glass house situation. If you keep launching shots at everybody else, don't look shocked when those same shots start coming back your direction. Eventually, you gotta stand firmly on every opinion you pushed out there and stop crumbling once the pressure gets turned around on you.
But if he didn't play defense, he wouldn't be in the league long, so I don't know what the fuck the conversation is.
And if I wanted to play defense,
you did your fucking job.
If I wanted to play defense, I could do what he's doing.
Like,
I could play,
but your best year in the league was not better than mine.
And I still average more points than you.
Like nothing. Like, I don't know what the fuck the conversation is. Like,
there ain't no conversation. It's just, look, he tried out for our team, Gil's Arena, twice. He still didn't make the team. Then he went, started his own team. He got cut from his own team by a point guard that was better than him. So now he's mad. He's overseas, crossing his legs.
Nothing wrong with crossing your legs, Rashad.
And he's trying to figure out who's gonna watch the shit, who he gonna throw shots at. So throw shots at us, we cool.
to mention me is just them.
Kenyon, he called you a hoe. I'm just kidding. I don't think your name was mentioned.
He definitely called you a hoe. I heard that part. I heard that part for sure.
Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm fucking with you. But I do have one thing to say.
I would laugh that off though.
Can we all just get along?
Like
We working. Everybody was getting along. We wasn't doing shit.
We're minding our business.
No, he's just mad because he want more respect. And it's like, nigga, you're not getting that. Not for me. Give a fuck. Congratulations on your longer career, your little $40 more million, but nigga, you ain't better than me.
Look, I'll give Brandon Jennings that when it comes to pure scoring talent against Patrick Beverley. Pat Bev was never viewed as the more naturally gifted offensive player. But hold up, we also not about to sit here and act like making over $40 million in the NBA isn't a massive accomplishment no matter what era you played in. And honestly, it's kind of disappointing watching the Gills Arena crew let these conversations spiral into non-stop disrespect battles, but that's the direction sports content keeps leaning toward now. People keep saying Pat Bev only lasted in the league because of defense, hustle, and toughness. But listen to this. That's literally how a huge percentage of NBA careers survive in the first place, through defense, rebounding, floor spacing, energy, and role player impact. Then you got Rashad McCants bringing up all the things he could have been, but once people look back and realize his NBA run only lasted around 4 seasons, the conversation starts getting uncomfortable. Because a lot of these arguments end up circling right back once resumes start getting compared side by side. Even the overseas basketball jokes don't really hit the way people think they do, when plenty of players in those same circles had international stops in their own careers too. So now it just feels like everybody is throwing shots while standing inside the exact same glass house. And honestly, a real one-on-one matchup between Brandon and Pat Bev probably remains one of those debates fans argue about forever without actually seeing it happen. Because let's not forget, Brandon was the one who first reignited everything by talking about that 2009 draft class and claiming he could score on anybody in a 1v1 setting. And Pat Bev instantly jumped in with the "all right then, let's play" response, especially once defensive rules got brought into the conversation. At that stage, it becomes way more about ego and pride than what would actually happen on the court. People keep moving the goalposts every single time momentum shifts toward the other side of the debate. But yeah, that's pretty much where this whole situation sits right now. Drop your thoughts below, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see y'all in the next video.